Lunchtime, is it your favorite meal? This video is sponsored by Gems Cafe, your trusted cafeteria in Austin, Texas. If you want great flavor, you should order there. Let's begin. Imagine that your life is based on going out every day to the beautiful streets of France, including the Champs-Élysées, in a blue Rolls-Royce. Suddenly, you come across an old barbershop sign thrown in the street. You get out and realize this is a treasure. What would you do? Would you leave it there or put it in the trunk of your Rolls-Royce? Well, this brings you such joy that you decide to celebrate at one of your favorite restaurants, El Ambrosia, where you're already thinking about what you'll eat. Suddenly, a chausson aux truffes comes to mind, which is nothing more than a black truffle. For those who don't know, a truffle is a mushroom that's very difficult to find in France. They're often searched for using pigs because of their sense of smell, which makes them a very expensive ingredient in gastronomy due to their scarcity and incomparable flavor. Well, this truffle is wrapped in bacon and then in puff pastry, making it an exquisite dish and turning Ambrosia into a Michelin restaurant. But that's another story. Let's go back to the person we talked about at the beginning, the one who thought of all this. Do you remember her? Yes, the one who picked up the vintage barbershop sign. Do you know who I'm referring to? Well, we're talking about none other than Roxane de Buisson, who was one of the most famous characters of daily life in France during the 20th century and part of the 21st. In addition to being a great collector of old French street art, she also became a great Epicurean, knowledgeable about and consumer of the finest French food, to such a degree that several famous French chefs nicknamed her the Grande Dame of Gastronomy. But you must be wondering what Roxane de Buisson has to do with the title of this video. Well, this lady, knowledgeable about French food, thought that the best meal of the day was lunch. She said that lunch was surely the ideal time to eat, and this must have been true since the beginning of time, as it was very likely that humans couldn't obtain food very early in the day or very late at night. So lunch must have been the meal that everyone practiced since Homo sapiens conquered this planet. But what do you think about this? Do you believe it's true, or do you think it's not? If you want us to talk more about Roxane de Buisson and her taste for good food in France, subscribe to the channel and give us a like. Let's get to what concerns us. Lunch. The website mashed.com conducted research asking which was the most popular meal for Americans, and more than 50% of the sample responded that it was dinner, followed by lunch. We won't mention breakfast because it's not relevant here. Lunch, as the great food writer Laura Shapiro says, allows you to have healthier social connections, try other foods without spending as much money, and also creates social and economic connections, since most Americans close most business deals at lunchtime, not at dinner time. For people from other parts of the world, this might not seem important, and you might wonder what's the point of watching a nearly 10-minute video about lunch. Well, I invite you to keep watching to understand. The term lunch is believed to come from the word clutch, which means everything you can grab in your hand. If you think about it, lunchtime is a meal you decide to have with enthusiasm, since you somehow give yourself permission to eat things you couldn't eat at breakfast, and certainly not at dinner, because you wouldn't be able to digest properly, which would prevent you from sleeping. By the way, if this has made you hungry and you live in Austin, I invite you to order the best lunch with the best flavor at Gems Cafe, a place near the Austin, Texas capital, where you can order the best food for your lunchtime, whether for your home or your entire office. You can visit their website at www.gems.cafe or call them in person. I'll leave the information in the description. Well, continuing with lunch, the advantages that lunch lovers see, according to Mash.com's research, were advantages of a more substantial lunch. Better energy and mental performance in the afternoon. Consuming more calories at midday aligns with natural circadian rhythms and provides energy during the most active hours of the day, helping maintain concentration and productivity in the afternoon. More efficient metabolism and digestion. The body processes and uses nutrients more effectively when we're active, reducing the likelihood of storing them as fat. Less temptation for snacking and excessive nighttime consumption. A complete lunch helps avoid nighttime hunger, which reduces the risk of overeating at dinner or snacking at night. Better weight control and metabolic health studies show that consuming most calories before the afternoon improves insulin sensitivity, reduces fat storage, and helps with weight management. Additionally, it prevents weight gain. Eating late, especially carbohydrate-rich foods, can lead to fat storage due to greater insulin resistance at night. But how can you use lunch hour to your advantage? Lunch hour is often seen as simply a moment to eat and rest, but it's actually one of the most valuable opportunities of the day. Using it consciously can make a difference in your health, relationships, and productivity. Healthy eating. Choosing what you eat wisely during this time directly influences your energy and concentration for the rest of the day. A balanced lunch with proteins, vegetables, and quality carbohydrates avoids the afternoon crash and keeps you active. It's the simplest way to take care of your body without sacrificing the pleasure of eating. Natural networking. Lunch is also the ideal time to strengthen relationships. Inviting a coworker, meeting with a client informally, or simply sharing a table with someone new opens doors. Often, the best opportunities don't arise in formal meetings, but in relaxed conversations during lunch. Smart productivity. Finally, lunch hour is a mental break. Getting away from the screen and stress allows you to return with a clearer mind. Even spending a few minutes planning the second part of the day while enjoying your meal can help you accomplish more in less time. By the way, as a statistical fact from the USDA in the United States, the 5 dishes most consumed at lunch are: Number 1, they call them mixed dishes, which is basically fast food. For example, a hamburger with fries is a mixed dish, a sandwich with a salad is a mixed dish, pasta with salad is also a mixed dish, a taco order with beans and rice is a mixed dish. For the USDA, this is what Americans consume most at lunchtime. To me, this is very ambiguous and not very helpful, so let's go with the other 4, which are clear and help me understand this phenomenon by their preparation method. Number 2, but for me it's number 1, are sandwiches. Within mixed dishes, sandwiches are a key category. Additionally, in a recent survey, July 2025, among 2,000 American workers, 75% reported that sandwiches are their preferred lunch option. This makes sense since it's an easy-to-prepare, economical dish with a very pleasant flavor. Who hasn't delighted in a tasty peanut butter and grape jelly sandwich? Or a sophisticated $20 Reuben sandwich with rye bread and fries? So I think we all agree with this, right? Number 3, but for me it's number 2, are salads. Also among workers, 45% indicated that salads are among the most common midday meals. A bit boring to me, but they'll always be a healthy and economical option too. Unless you go to Sweet Green where a salad can cost you up to $20, but that depends on each person's income. We don't judge here. Salads will always be a tasty dish for everyone since a Caesar salad or a simple Cobb salad will make a difference in your lunch. Don't miss it. By the way, if you live in Austin and don't have a budget, go to H-E-B. They always have good, attractive, and cheap salads. Number 4, according to USDA, but number 3 for Foodnology, are hamburgers. 33% of surveyed workers mentioned hamburgers as one of their common lunches. This makes sense since if there's one food that's in Americans' DNA, it's hamburgers, which have now become gourmet dishes with exorbitant costs, but are also available at very economical prices. By the way, I invite you to order them at Gems Cafe, the sponsor of this video, where you'll find them made from scratch at a very convenient price. So this dish not only meets the highest expectations of every American and non-American alike. Is your mouth watering already? What are you waiting for? Go buy one. They're delicious. Number 5, fourth and last for us, are French fries. This might sound obvious, but if you understand the logic of mixed dishes and anticipated calories, French fries are a staple at lunchtime, whether as a hamburger side or as a separate order. This food is consumed a lot, especially if they're from Idaho, though honestly, we never worry about where they're from. French fries have been accompanying Americans through good times and bad for years. Plus, they're like Coca-Cola. Everyone can afford them once in a while. Now they even offer them with different cheeses and sauces, but there's nothing like eating them with salt and pepper, don't you think? Conclusion. We can say that lunch may not be the best meal for all Americans in the United States, but it's definitely one of the best. And the great Roxane Debuisson was right. They say taste varies by genre, but for you, is lunch everything mentioned above? Or does it simply mean going to 7-Eleven to buy 2 pieces of pizza and a soda for $5? Leave us your comments about where we can have good lunches in Austin, Texas at good prices, but most importantly, ones that are unforgettable. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much to Gems Cafe for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you next week on Foodnology, where food and gastronomy are not taken lightly. Thank you very much.